Hong Kong Tzu Chi volunteers head to the streets to inspire people's compassion for the Indonesia earthquake. Tainan Tzu Chi volunteers provide vegetarian meals for 10 days at a large-scale Taoist ceremony to promote environmental awareness. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lori Chen. Thank you for joining us. Indonesia's Tzu Chi volunteers have been providing disaster relief in Palu for a week already. Besides continuing to offer free medical services and hot meals, the volunteers will soon distribute the much-needed aid supplies that have been delivered from Makassar.
The majestic ship is parked at the pier of Palu. It is the Indonesian Navy's multi-purpose hospital ship. 1 week after the Indonesia earthquake, it entered the hardest hit area to provide medical assistance. Continuing last year's cooperation with the military to hold a free clinic on the hospital ship, this time when Tzu Chi conducted disaster relief in Palu, they also dispatched some manpower to care for the injured, both in the military camp and on a hospital ship.
I was injured in the earthquake. Since the day of the disaster, many people have been concerned about us. I'm very thankful to everyone.
Many of the patients on the hospital ship are like Paji, who were severely injured in the earthquake. Volunteers have come to provide care and financial aid.
Although we do not provide a lot of money, it should be quite enough for them. With the financial support, they and their families finally have living expenses after the disaster. Once they recover physically, they will have the energy and strength to rebuild their homes.
At the moment, the thing I hope for the most is to recover from injuries. This way, we'll have the strength to rebuild the damaged house. The money you gave us is very helpful to our current life.
Besides caring for the injured, Tima also continues to provide free medical services to the affected residents.
Siku dengan bagian kaki agak kram.
My elbow and leg were injured in the earthquake. I'm grateful to all the medical professionals for helping me treat the wounds. I feel much better now.
We hope that the government can help us because this disaster devastated many families. Many people feel saddened and they are suffering. They've lost their families and homes, so we hope the government can help us.
Tzu Chi continues to provide hot food for the third day. Volunteers borrow a space from the small local temple where many disciples come each day to help them cook. Over the past 2 days, some volunteers from the Biak Island also joined to help with the food distribution.
One of the many countries spreading their love and care for the Indonesia earthquake survivors is Hong Kong. Local volunteers divided into 12 different groups and hit the streets to inspire compassionate giving acts from the masses.
Making collection boxes and preparing materials, Tzu Chi Hong Kong chapter mobilized to inspire compassion to support Indonesian earthquake survivors. Volunteers visit shopping districts in Yuen Long to inspire love and kindness. Since the 2008 Wenchuan earthquake, whenever major disasters occur, volunteers are always here to inspire kindness.
I'm thankful to the shops in the area. We have been serving here for a long time and we're familiar with most of the shops. That's why we chose this area.
After taking a closer look at the poster, the Indonesian resident who works in Hong Kong takes out her phone to take some pictures of the Tzu Chi activity to be shared with her relatives and friends in Indonesia.
I have been in Hong Kong for 11 years. When I passed through, I saw that you are inspiring people's compassion for Indonesia. Thanks for your kindness and love.
In the bustling Kwun Tong district, pedestrians usually walk very fast. Volunteers feel especially touched if anyone is willing to stop and contributes their share.
I saw many passionate volunteers. They wore Tzu Chi uniforms and they volunteered in an orderly fashion to inspire people's kindness. I also want to help others.
The volunteer who just had eye surgery also seized the chance to spread love and compassion.
I'm very grateful to all the Tzu Chi volunteers. Everyone works with one heart to complete a task. Actually, we organize the activity in an urgent fashion. Everyone does their best to help without any complaints.
Tzu Chi Hong Kong chapter has experience managing such charitable activities on the streets. This time, it quickly applied to the governments to operate at 12 locations to inspire love and compassion on behalf of the people of Hong Kong.
Did you know that in Mexico, more than 80% of the population are Catholics? In the aftermath of the devastating 2017 earthquake, Tzu Chi volunteers have gone to the disaster zones and carried out disaster relief work. Despite the differences in religious beliefs, Tzu Chi volunteers and the local residents all believe that only when the path is paved with love and compassion will Tzu Chi's charity work in Mexico be carried out one firm step at a time.
My job is more than just a driver. I do my best to help Tzu Chi so that Tzu Chi's disaster relief work in Mexico can be carried out smoothly.
Alejandro was a tour guide and driver in Mexico City. After Mexico was struck by an earthquake in 2017, he started to work with Tzu Chi volunteers.
1 hour 20. 1 hour 20
As Tzu Chi volunteers conduct disaster assessments, he's the one responsible for transporting them on the minibus to go to different disaster areas. Regardless of the distance traveled, he safeguards everyone's safety at all times.
We knew that it was dangerous in Morelos, but we still went there. Then we found out that Morelos was severely affected. Other disaster areas included Jojutla, Taquiltenango, and Zacatepec.
In the disaster areas, the volunteers not only assess the damages, but they also let the local residents to help with aid distributions. Their dedication and assistance have left a deep impression in the residents' minds.
After Tzu Chi volunteers left, I thought to myself, it is very dirty in the disaster zones. What do these Asians who are wearing clean uniforms and white pants want to do here? In fact, I did not know whether or not they would return again.
Nos quedamos así como que en la incógnita.
Muchas gracias, David. Muchas gracias. I think there is a school there. It's destroyed.
Following the footsteps of the volunteers, David found his answer. A year after the earthquake, he turned from a member of the local emergency and rescue team to a local Tzu Chi volunteer in Jojutla.
Although we have different religious beliefs, Mexico desperately needs help after the earthquake. The help was both spiritual and economical. Their help has made us feel that we are not alone.
Therefore, these volunteers started to learn Tzu Chi's charity spirit in carrying out home visits. They want to implement the Buddhist compassionate values in this Catholic country.
Seeing the condition of the quake survivor, I feel rather sad, but I must stay calm because I need to help other people, giving them hope and strength.
They have unwavering faith in Tzu Chi. We have realized that they have upheld their initial aspiration and continued the good work that we have all started since last year.
In June of this year, the volunteers established a Tzu Chi office in Jojutla, gathering the love and strength of the local volunteers.
Due to a massive earthquake that struck Mexico on September 19th of last year, Tzu Chi volunteers from different parts of the world have traveled to Mexico. This type of compassion is what bonds all of us together today.
Here in Mexico, we want to express our deepest gratitude to Dharma Master Zheng Yan. We vow to work hard in spreading the spirit and missions of Tzu Chi.
Despite the differences in religious beliefs, Tzu Chi volunteers and the local residents all believe that only great love can heal most wounds. Only when the path is paved with love and compassion will Tzu Chi volunteers' charity work in Mexico be carried out one firm step at a time.
Turning our cameras to the U.S., Tzu Chi's mobile clinic has been safeguarding the health of multiple impoverished communities in the California area for years. One of these cases is a family that had lost their male role model in the home. Just when they were in deep despair, Tzu Chi volunteers came just in time to give them the much-needed assistance.
Yo me llamo Nazaria.
My name is Nasarira. I came here in 2004. My husband left us alone, and right now I don't know what to do. I have nothing. I love my children so much, and I don't know what to do. I'm afraid. There's nothing I can do. I have no work, nothing. I have no one.
Wasn't expecting, trailer homes, and what I saw is poverty, and we don't expect it to be in Fresno, in the Fresno area. Poverty like this, where children aren't well taken care of, and the home, there's no blankets, there's no heating, there's no air conditioning. It was just amazing. It's health-wise, it's a bad situation, the poverty level, and knowing that here in Fresno we have water and heat and all that for other homes that we don't have it here, and then the children, they're so little at this age, they can get all kinds of infections. And the house was dirty, there's problems with insects, bugs, cockroaches, even rats, especially in the fields out here. There's lots of rats that can get into the home, and all that can cause infections. Tzu Chi Clinic can take 3 or 4 children to my office at a time. We can do their physicals, complete physicals, check urine, blood, make sure they're not anemic, because it doesn't seem like their diets are appropriate either. Are they eating fruits and vegetables and all the protein that they need for their iron? So in my clinic, we could do all that. We can check their heights, their weights, and the older ones are eye tests, hearing tests, make sure that they can see and hear, and give the immunizations and catch them up to date. I can do that in my clinic. It's no problem. It's just a matter of transportation, and that's what some of these families don't have, is the transportation and the knowledge that we're there for them. So.
Oh, and I'm training for that. Like on my junior year, I want to become the fastest, yeah. Like in Flash.
Shoes on and you step on it.
You should.
That's not a good thing, right?
Sure.
Because, can you help me to do this? Become office.
No, I haven't the unit, the wet unit.
Tzu Chi Clinic coming out and showing them that people care for them, because some of these people get to the point where they're depressed, nobody cares about them, they're not getting help, they can only do so much. And Tzu Chi Clinic, I think, is showing them respect and kindness and telling them we care. And I think that's going to make a difference for these people, the mom and the older kids, that there are people here in the world that care.
Back to Taiwan, in Tainan, the local temples are each holding large-scale Taoist ceremonies to honor its deities. Part of the tradition is adopting a vegetarian diet for a total of 28 days. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers seize the opportunity to go and promote the concept of vegetarianism with the local residents. It's with great hope that the locals can learn that going meatless is both a simple and healthy lifestyle choice.
As the temples in Tainan's Guanmiao district hold a large-scale Taoist ceremony to honor its deities, the local residents are going meatless for 28 days. Tzu Chi volunteers are providing vegetarian food for 10 days. Food is free, but the residents are asked to bring their own utensils. The residents have come before 11 o'clock to wait for the food.
Now that Tzu Chi volunteers have come to cook for us, I'm very grateful.
I feel healthier and do not have any health issues.
The Tzu Chi volunteers are cooking with simple large pots at a garage provided by one of the volunteers.
My younger sister has this space, therefore, I suggested that they come here to cook.
We do not want to affect the local shops. We cook the simple food, and if they want to eat it, they can come here.
We do not want them to worry about how to cook or buy vegetarian food for 28 days, so we prepare simple vegetarian food. This way they can know that adopting a vegetarian diet is not difficult. Simple food can be delicious as well.
Adopting a vegetarian diet nurtures one's compassion. Besides the volunteers, local eateries are also providing vegetarian lunchboxes. With kind thoughts, the local residents can also pray for a world free of disasters.
The Holy Recycling Station in Taichung was recently renovated. The volunteers decided to add more color and interactive displays to educate the public about environmental protection concepts. There are many elderly recycling volunteers that go to the recycling station on a daily basis. Even though they are suffering from a variety of illnesses, they all look at it as a type of spiritual and physical therapy session while doing good deeds to save Mother Earth. The Holy Recycling Station was recently renovated. The entrance is filled with colorful recyclable goods, while there's a decorative wall full of PET bottles. There's also a water cube to teach everyone about the importance of saving water.
Loving Mother Earth is very simple. It's with great hope that everyone can cherish water resources.
The 72-year-old Chen Su-mu, also known as Grandpa Forrest, is a senior guide at the recycling station.
Like this plastic bag here, the manufacturer told us that as long as it's cleaned, it can be recycled.
All the elderly volunteers at the recycling station are also precious. 83-year-old Zhou Shouxia will regularly ride her electric scooter to the station. Unfortunately, she fell recently, which resulted in a comminuted fracture.
I tripped on a water pipe and fell on my knees. It was very sudden. My knee was fractured.
Another 83-year-old grandmother loves doing recycling because it can clear her mind of worries. She lost her husband to liver cancer and fell into a deep depression before. With the encouragement of her daughter-in-law, she started to store recyclables at the recycling station. Even with her diagnosis of stomach cancer, she's facing each day with a positive outlook.
Wow,
Putting worries about illness aside, the 75-year-old grandmother has a heart condition, even had open heart surgery. Her lumbar spine is also degenerating, which makes her have walking difficulties. Even when the body is ill, doing recycling can boost one's mood. The volunteers look at it as a type of physical therapy. Yuelin County is one of the largest producers of garlic in Taiwan, with nearly 6,000 jobs in this field year-round. However, many of these workers are now old farmers with limited strength and mobility. And compared with other crops, the return on investment is relatively low. So this issue, together with the labor shortage, really puts a threat on the future of garlic production in Taiwan.
The elderly couple are saving money by doing this farm work on their own. Two people can only manage to finish 5 rows one day. They appear like snails, slowly making their way down this field.
Workers need to get paid. If we can't sell this, we can't pay them. Agricultural products are just too cheap.
A 1,000 square meter garlic field costs about $1,300 to plant. And the market price for this fresh garlic is about 50 US cents per Taiwan catty, though it actually costs about 60 US cents to produce. This means farmers can't earn any money.
整个蒜头的采收过程呢，其实非常的耗工。我们看到这片的蒜田。
The whole garlic harvesting process is actually very labor intensive. Though a tractor comes and tills the soil, bring the garlic to surface, the work is less laborious because it has been pulled from the earth. But one still has to shake the dirt off of it.
呢，必须拿着剪刀呢，先把这个蒜根呢给剪掉。为什么
The labor begins when the roots of the garlic have been cut for the moisture to drain and preventing it from molding.
干蒜之后呢，它没有水分，它的里面才不至于会腐烂坏掉。
Then the stem has to be cut and it is dropped in this pan and then finally put into the blue net bag. Each step requires manpower.
所以一颗一颗的蒜头呢，都是要靠人力才有办法完成。
It all relies on human labor. Watch it. We need to pull the plant out and then cut it. You have to do it one at a time. I think that 100 meters would take a person about 8 hours, as one could probably do 3 rows.
to this garlic processing factory, workers are very busy sorting the garlic. Although the machine strips the garlic, it still needs to be manually sorted, though a machine does help with sorting. At another place, the whole garlic clove must be peeled as one piece, which is done manually. It's a slow, time-consuming process. Considering the commercial revenue generated, garlic is not considered a high-value crop. With the workforce aging, there may come a time when Taiwanese garlic may not be available. After a long day of harvesting, this farmer goes home and his work is not over yet. The open space of this courtyard-style house is covered with garlic. Every day these bags need to be flipped over, as these farmers need to rely on the weather for their survival.
Yes, what I'm afraid of the most is the rain. I watch the weather every day and worry if it will rain at night.
At the age of 66, he continues to manage this garlic field. For his delivery tomorrow, he works at night under this light.
It's faster and easier. It's also better than squatting underground, which can be slower and more difficult.
This homemade machine, which peels garlic, may not be fast, though it does speed up the process. It also relies on his years of experience. In the rural areas, the labor force directly affects the output of agricultural products. The introduction of foreign laborers is something that has been highly anticipated. According to Council of Agriculture, the total shortage of workers across Taiwan is 11,000. However, a seasonal shortage of 90,000 people per month. The COA said that after all the methods have been tried to solve this problem, would finally consider opening up the agricultural market to foreign workers if no solution is found.
How much can be invested in the first step? Foreign workers are supplemented after all.
Old farmers and foreign labor stand at the front line of Taiwan's agriculture industry. While farmers look forward to working with foreign workers, at the moment it is just outside the scope of the law. Authorities are reluctant to permit a change to the law as they feel it will create more problems. At the moment, the lack of workers can be solved by using foreign laborers, as many worry that this problem may take a very long time to solve.
Tzu Chi's Zhongshan Liaison Office held a bread-making event to bring everyone together to cultivate blessings for the Indonesia earthquake-affected residents. The event aims to highlight just how impermanent life is. Dharma Master Zhen Yan always tells us that there are two things in life that cannot wait: fulfilling filial piety and doing good deeds. So, what are you waiting for? Thank you for joining us. See you next time.